That 3-1 win, that's huge, isn't it?
Yeah, it was massive, you know. First half they were putting us under a lot of pressure and they were dominating the game, you know. And I think we got lucky at half-time. I said to the boys, come on lads, we need to wake up. We got lucky, they had a disallowed goal, and you know, if that turned and stayed 1-0, you know, it would have been a long way back for us, because here, great atmospheres you can see, and they're playing tough today. So yeah, we got lucky.
Well, but you exerted more and more pressure. It felt like you got a bit of a stranglehold in the second half.
Yeah, obviously we got the goal from the set piece, and I think that kind of took the sting out of the game. Like I said, they were dominating just before half-time. Great time to score, and then we've come out and obviously got the second goal, and I think from there, yeah, we looked like we were always going to go on and score more. 2 for you. 1 against West Ham, wasn't it, before the break? 2 tonight. It's not bad. Yeah, look, back end of the season, I'm raring to go. Look, I could play another 90 minutes right now. I'm excited. I'm excited for the last few games. Obviously next week as well against East. So yeah, I'm hungry.
I'm sure you are. And to get one at the end, to just give yourself that little bit of cushion for next week might make a big difference, huh?
Yeah, massive difference. I think their winger was causing all sorts of problems tonight. Great finish, 2-1, you know, that's all to play for. So that goal at the end, yeah, I think it takes the sting out of the game, and a 2-0 lead going back to Villa Park. Yeah, we're going to make it tough for them.
It's going to be some end to the season if you keep this up.
Yeah, look, we got to play like that every game, or even better, you know, like we did against West Ham. We played really well, and yeah, we've got to keep pushing now. Everyone's around us is winning. It's competitive, and look, we're in a great spot at this stage of the season, and it's all to play for, so really good.
We'll play tonight.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
I really love that interview, because it's so refreshing when you hear players talk about how hungry they are, how motivated they are. He knows the bigger picture right now, not just for him at Aston Villa and the end of their season, but also for England as well. And we will come on to talking about that in a moment. But Cillian, let's just pick up on how he saw the game. He points out that it could have been very different had the disallowed goal for Bologna been allowed in that first half, and he's right.
And he's right. And sometimes through games like that, you have to suffer. You have to have the luck in your side. Definitely the luck was on Villa's side tonight. They had to put the performance, but for Ollie Watkins, there was so much questions about, you know, his performances and scoring goals. But every time Aston Villa needed Ollie Watkins and needed him to produce, he does it. And that's why it makes him a first choice, and that's why he scores goals.
2 goals for him tonight. This was the first of them, and it came so early in the second half. How important was the timing of that?
Yeah, you can't give to a striker like Ollie Watkins these opportunities. You know, this ball from Miranda does not exist in a game like this. Square in the air across your own box.
Ollie Watkins is happy it exists.
Great pressing from Bundia. But you give these guys these chances, the ball's going to end up in the back of the net. That's just a gift, and a great little finish from Watkins in between the goalkeeper's legs. There's just too big a gap there. Ollie exploits that beautifully. But think about the first goal that they scored, you know, at the end of the first half. Set piece, goalkeeper jumps underneath it. And this, I don't know why there's nobody in the box. I mean, why don't they have anybody 5 yards deeper? Look, Watkins is a touch, bang, finish, and that's 3. And 3 away goals in a European knockout tie is absolutely remarkable. Great touch, great finish, and the Bologna manager will be fuming, because they gave away 3 really soft goals, and Aston Villa are way too good to be given opportunities like that.
Yeah, totally. I'm just smiling.
I know you are. You've been very happy with what you've seen tonight.
No, but it's just poor defending.
Yeah.
Just marking. You know what? When you play at the quarterfinal of Europa League, you just can't afford those kind of mistakes. And it seems like Villa has managed to use those mistakes.
When you look at Ollie Watkins' numbers as well there, Cillian, he is the sort of player that when he goes on a scoring run, he can keep that going. He can be consistent in that run. That is a good sign for Villa for the end of the season, isn't it?
He is. And also, trust me, in the back of his mind, he's thinking of that World Cup. He's definitely thinking about that. And for him being with England, he has to score, he has to perform. And, tonight, it's a good start after so many questions.
He wasn't in the last England squad, Owen. Can that almost motivate him even further to have a really strong end to this season so that he ensures he's on that plane this summer to America?
If you score 2 goals in a knockout tie, in a European knockout tie, trust me, your name's back in the mix. And let's be honest, the boys didn't rip up trees the other day, so I think he'll, if he keeps going, he'll be in there. And I think the thing is with Ollie as well, he's a really good presser of the ball. Obviously, he's a good finisher when he gets it, but he's unselfish, he's humble, and he's a good goal scorer when he gets opportunities. So I thought he looked really good today because he can run the channels and he can press, but obviously if he's scoring goals, he's almost impossible to leave off the play. You
can almost see it in his eyes as well in that interview when he said, I'm hungry, I'm motivated. There was a bit of a glint in his eye, a bit of a smile on his face.
I mean, we mentioned earlier, when you get to the stage of those competitions, you get testier. You want to go further and further. And the players now realizing that they've got a great opportunity, to get through this quarterfinal and get to the semi-final. I mean, anything can happen, and you're only one step away to the final, and that will be a great achievement for the club, for the players, the fans, and the manager as well.
Villa won't care how they've got this result tonight, Owen, but they were helped by a bit of poor defending from Bologna with all 3 goals, it's fair to say.
Yeah, that's why I think the manager would be
That's why Stillion's laughing so much.
If
He's happy.
If you want to give out gifts, the boys will take him. And obviously, this team is too well coached, too experienced. Up to this point, they barely had a chance created. Tielemans floats one in, the goalkeeper jumps underneath it. He's not even pressured. You think about the pressure these keepers get in the Premier League, and Konsa's just there at the back post. I'm amazed again, the defenders are so high. They're all worried about, but the goal's there. So everybody eventually has to come towards the goal. So I think you needed a couple bodies in there. One little mistake from the goalkeeper at 1-0, and it just felt like Villa went in at half-time, had just a little bit more control, a little bit more confidence.
But it's not just the Rivalia's mistake, the goalkeeper. Uchumi, you can see he's marking. He's not even watching the ball. And Aston Villa, I mean, they're well known that they have good drills on set pieces. They work really on set pieces. You have to be prepared. You have to be focused and switched on and be ready for that. It seems like Bologna were not switched on at all. It's like they're defending for the first time, and Villa has managed to take advantage of that.
One player who was switched on for the entire game was Jonathan Rowe, and we are going to be getting these guys' thoughts on him. We're going to see his goal as well in a couple of minutes too, and we'll also be getting first leg in the quarterfinals in the Europa League for Aston Villa. But having watched the game, they will know this tie is not over yet because Bologna gave them a good game, and Jonathan Rowe just caused them all sorts of problems all night, Stilian. How impressed were you with him?
He was on a mission tonight. It was a real mission. I mean, if teams are watching him tonight, they'll be looking, what potential this player got. But he was so good. He was so direct. Every time he got the ball, he was looking to create something. He was really good for Bologna, and he was the only one who can really make a difference. This is a great goal. I mean,
he'd been trying that all night, hadn't he?
All night, but that's why I think Villa's setup is wrong as well. First of all, Matty Cash, he's been trying that 4 or 5 times. Matty Cash had a really difficult night. You can't let him in his right foot, but Bogart as well, you have to shorten the space. You have to make sure you don't let him take that shot. I mean, he had a few shots. Martinez made a great save. But tonight, he was probably the player who was standing out from both teams.
Yeah, and you can see that from his numbers there as well. Owen, how would you describe his performance?
Class. I mean, look at those, first and everything. I mean, I think the easy thing for Aston Villa is now they know their first signing next summer. That's who you got to go sign. 15 million they got him from Marseille. He had a bit of a bust up with Rabiot, and that's why he left. Rabiot left, and so did he. But what a great player. We said before the game he's really good. He's even better than I thought. He's quick, he's so direct. How about this little shift? Oops, see you later. Outside of the boot into the box at 22 years old, Jules. He was relishing the big stage tonight. He was absolutely fantastic. Probably didn't deserve to be on the losing side. Emi Martinez made a save off him, which was probably one of the best I've seen all season. But everything he did he was trying to be a one-man wrecking crew.
Will he have seen this?
This is the one. I mean,
this is it.
Watch this save. I mean, how on earth? Nobody else saves that. It's going absolutely in the top corner, but Jonathan Rowe was class tonight.
Will he have seen it as a bit of an audition, knowing that a lot of eyes will be on this game playing against the Premier League team?
Well, he played like a Champions League player. That's what he played like. And he didn't even smile, Jules.
When he scored.
He scores a worldie and he didn't even smile. That tells you what he's about. He knows he's a really good player. And I just thought he was exceptional this evening.
Do you think he'll be an option for somebody?
I'm sure Unai will be watching that game saying, I'd have him in my team because he could play left or right. He's a good finisher. And do you know what? He didn't really turn the ball over for an attacking player. Everything had purpose. So I think if you're watching, anybody watching him say I know Ollie got 2 goals. Jonathan Rowe was the star player tonight. You
know this Villa team very well. Could you see him fitting into this Villa team?
A player like that, he can fit anywhere. Yeah. I mean, so direct. You've got so much potential. He can still improve as well. And if you work under a good manager, he can get the best out of you. And he's got a long way to go if he continues the same way. OK, lots more to talk about. But in the meantime, let's get the thoughts of the Aston Villa manager now. Unai Emery's been talking to Matt Smith.
Unai, an excellent result. Were you happy with your performance?
Good evening. Yes, happy, but getting balance in everything. We played the first leg. We have won, which is a really fantastic result. How we did 90 minutes, more or less, I can feel good for something and not good for another way. Maybe the first half we were a little bit shy. We needed more to do passes to try to get better position in attacking third, but we were losing the ball easy. And we were not conceding a lot, but with a few momentum we conceded. They scored 1 goal, was offside so tight. And set pieces is always important, but today was our priority defense and offensively, because we knew before the match they should be one way to try to get something, and it happened in the first half. We scored 1 goal. We had another chance as well, another 2 chances in set pieces, and the result was better the first half than the match we played. Not brilliant, but we were being serious. And the second half was completely different. We started fantastic. We played 20, 25, 30 minutes to dominate more, stopping them and controlling of the game like we planned the first half, but we didn't do. And when we were more or less under our control the match, we were feeling comfortable. They scored 1 goal. But even like that, we reacted fantastic. The last corner again offensively, and we scored. A very good result, but still the second leg to play. And I know they are dangerous as well, because how they are competing is really fantastic. And maybe the respect they showed with us the first half, as well our respect of them, was a little bit for both teams. The first half, something not with a high rhythm we didn't achieve in the match, both teams. But the second leg, sure they're going to try there to surprise us. And of course, my message inside the dressing room is keep playing the second leg with the same plan, or the new plan we will have, but respecting them.
Well, Unai Emery always speaks in so much detail after a game, doesn't he, Stilian, about his thoughts on the game. What do you make of his assessment of it? Yeah, perfect. And you've seen the positives and the negatives. I think at the end he'll be happy with the result. He believes in in his plan. He believes the players believed as well, and he's done it before. He knows how to do it. He knows how to achieve that. He knows how to go through, and he knows that certain times his teams have to suffer, have to go through difficult moments, but he seems like quite satisfied with what we've seen, with a couple of minor negativities that you've mentioned, but I think that's normal. We spoke before the game, Owen, about how Aston Villa have had their blip in the season in February, where they struggled to get any consistent run of wins in the team. They've now won 3 matches in a row. What can this do, a result like this, away from home in Europe, going into the end of this Premier League campaign as well, where they still have a job to do? They want to ensure they qualify for the Champions League next season, and we now know that 5th place gets you that. Yeah, I know, it's massive. I mean, you'd take a draw away from home in a knockout tie in Europe, but to win 3-1 is massive. And Bologna, a good side, a brilliant record before that, unbeaten at home, and what was it? 20 games. 20 games. I mean, that is...
You know, and the atmosphere was brilliant. The stadium was beautiful. So I think for Villa, it's massive. And I think they're confident now. You know, they've got an experienced squad with a brilliant manager, great goalkeeper. And then you look at their next fixtures and you think, right, Forest away, I mean, that is massive. Bologna at home, they'll finish the job there. Sunderland at home, they'll beat them there. The Fulham are a good side, but you expect them to get something. And then the interesting thing is, they could decide that, look at their last 2 games. Liverpool at home and City away. You know, they could decide the Champions League places. They could decide the title race. They could win a European trophy and get back into the Champions League. I mean, they have so much to play for in 6 weeks. It's life-changing, I think, for these players and the manager and the fans.
It must be so exciting for this group of players as well. They can do something really special this season, still in with a chance to win a European trophy and qualify for the Champions League next season, Stilian.
It must be exciting. It must be exciting. I mean, the momentum will carry it out, winning those games and, you know, having the opportunity to go further in Europa League will give you confidence to play well in the league as well. There's so much to play for. Champions League spot. Villa have been the favourites since the day one, and they're getting closer. And that momentum, that emotion will carry them to perform and go for more.
Will they enjoy that pressure?
Well, let's be honest. You got a manager. But if he wins this, it'll be his 5th time he's won the European trophy, the Europa League.
4 times.
It would be his 5th,
would be
wouldn't
his 5th,
With his 3rd different team.
Yeah.
And you know how hard that is to do that to different teams. So when you look up and you got a guy that's done it that many times, they'll be enjoying it. And they got an experienced squad, a brilliant squad. Just got to finish the job.
Yeah.
We better book a hotel in Istanbul then.
You're getting your flight, your hotel ready for the final.
That's free again.
Well, I tell you what, us 3 will be at Villa Park next week for the 2nd leg, which is now fascinating. Villa do have that 2-goal advantage heading into that match against Bologna. But after what we saw tonight, it is going to be another really entertaining match. So make sure you join us for that next week from Villa Park. Guys, thank you so much for your company. The highlight show is up next on TNT Sports 1.